Morning, guys. So we're staying busy on the homestead, and part of that is today we just picked up 30 meat chicks. So with that, breaking out my chicken tractor, and I thought we'd take a minute, maybe show it off. Everyone thinks they have the best chicken tractor, and I think I have the best chicken tractor, but wanted to maybe share some ideas. We've done probably 20 batches of chickens, and this is version number 5.0 that we think has really worked for us, and maybe give you some tips and tricks that might help you. Ideas, I don't know. Here we go. So the first thing is, you'll see that ours is kind of like a miniature hoop house. We didn't go with like a Joe Salatin. We went with a hoop house, a little taller here in Florida, maybe get some more air ventilation through it. And as you can see, what we did is we took a cattle panel, we cut it in half, and then we zip tied it together on the ground to make it one big square. And then in the construction, we used 1x2 galvanized welded wire. And the chicken netting just doesn't seem to hold up, even for chickens. And we went with this because sometimes we do other things with this coop as well. And this just holds up. It's easier to work with. You can bend it and it stays. So we put this on. And then we actually attached it to the 2x4s down below using staples and screws and other hardware. So that way you can see that our mesh actually goes all the way down and is pinned. And I think that's important if there's predator issues or anything, or chickens, small gaps for them to get out of. By putting this on first and then attaching it to the 2x4, you've pinned all of this down, and it really closes up the gaps. So then we attached it to the 2x4s, and then that's when we flip it upside down and bow it together to attach these 2x4 runners. So what you end up with is a coop that's 4x8, and for our math and stuff, this will support 15 to 20 chickens. If you're going to 6 or 8 weeks, 20 chickens will fit in here with the square footage, and you're good. So while we put the chickens in here, the first thing we do when they're new is we bring out a temporary heat lamp, and we just hang it. We use some copper wire to hang it with the clamp. That way we can adjust it. And doing it like this, I think it gives us, it's warm over here, it can be cooler over here. The chicks can find where they're comfy and be happy. So then when we're building it, the next thing we do is, this is our watering bucket. You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. The water that we use is the bottom nipple on the bucket. The side ones, they get dirty for us. And this seems to have really worked out. So we take the bucket and we modify it. You can see that I've removed the handle and I've given it some loops. I did this one with copper wire, but it can be done with string too. And those loops then allow us to do this fancy contraption. So what this is this is our height adjustment. If I'm over here on the outside, I can lower it, but then as the chicks get bigger, I can retighten it and pull it. It takes a little something. Maybe. There it goes. That wasn't the most ballerina type action, but it got done. And so what this lets you do from the outside, without going in, you can pull this rope, lift the bucket as they grow so they can get underneath it, and then retie it over here. So for now, we've got it pretty much all the way down, so that way the baby chicks can get to their water. And then when we built the bucket, I put a hole on this side over here. It's about a 1.5, 2 inch hole. And what that will actually let us do, wanna walk around and see it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, there's just so many features.
I know.
Leather seats with air conditioned is next. So we drill the hole over here on the side, and what that's going to let us do is actually go through with a water hose and hit this hole. So that way we don't have to go in after our bucket. We do not like going in here. This is the chick spot. We don't like opening the door to let them out. They're in here, let them be safe. This is their area. So we can fill the water from the outside, give them 5 gallons of water, and there's about 6 nipples on the bottom so they can all get the water. And then they've got water for the day. And that seems to really work well for us. So then the next thing we do, excuse me, is we start closing in the ends, right? We need doors. And that's where some of this gets cooler. These are our doors. And these are our doors because I have a wife and she wanted something cute. And she kind of liked this idea, so this is what we went with, okay? So, it looks like a little barn door. Barn size. These are how we did the ends. Looking at how we constructed it and everything, we really like these ends. She likes them because they're cute. I like them because they're pretty versatile in how we can use them. So, but for the initial build, we have our pieces here, and this will literally just come over. You space it tight, and the back's done. Just like that. If you need to get in, you can. It comes off real quick, it goes on real quick, and that's nice. On the other side, we're going to build the same door, but different. Same but different, separate but equal. This door has the same type of construction, but you'll notice it's got a hole. And it's like, well, you're keeping the chickens in. Yeah, hang on a second, it'll make sense. So this door comes down to this side, and we put this on. Boom. Now we've got a front and a back. And it's starting to look cute, right? So, not to keep you in too much suspense, this is our feeder. Started life as 4-inch PVC, and we cut it open, made it a trough, okay? The 4-inch feeder goes right through the hole. Why this is awesome. It's because you don't have to go in there. You don't have to go after a feeder and retrieve it. This slides out. Then you can fill the trough outside on your own time, and then it slides in. And it's this long because 20 chickens, when they're all in there, this is their table, and everyone gets a seat at the table. We feed once or twice a day on a feeding schedule. And so when the food goes in, they all want it. And if you don't give them all a seat at the table, they're gonna jump on each other, they're gonna scratch each other, there's gonna be a tantrum thrown. This allows us to fill it and then shove it in, and they all get instant access to the food for the day. Just like that. And this is how we do it. Okay. Water, food, all right. Shade. This is how we've decided and the best way to deal with it. 6x8 tarp, okay? And then I got some zip ties. I'm gonna show y'all actually attaching this since we're getting it ready. What we do, can you see? We come over here and we just pin it here. On the other side, it's pinned all the way in the corner. But over here, we're just gonna pin it right there for now. We're gonna come down here and do the same thing. This will make sense in a minute, I promise. I don't promise. It might not make any sense. So now we've got a little weighted bar. This is just electrical conduit. We fold it back. And then what I like to do is put one right here also on each side. It kind of creates a flap, a hinge per se. And we'll snip those. But then what this does is our viewing window. Remember the hole for our water right there. So when we come out to do the water, or we need to look in there, we can lift this up. If it's too hot in there and we think they need some more ventilation, we can lift it up. But otherwise, it can also stay just like that. And the electrical conduit is there to be a weight to help hold it down so the wind doesn't blow it away. So, this is how we do it. Thing to note, okay? If you decide to go with this or something like this, the food access goes on the front, in the front. It is a chicken tractor. We move this every day. We'll attach a rope on this side and we pull it forward each day. You want the food in the front because you feed them right after you move them. And so they're going to want to run to the food. If they're like, oh, we're moving, food's next, they're gonna go to where the food is. If the food's in the back, you're gonna run over your chickens because they're all crowded at the back waiting for the food. If the food's in the front, they want to move with you. They want to come forward because they want to be right here when the food first comes in. So you don't have to worry about running them over. You move them forward 8 feet. Then we pull the thing out. Also, the food being in the front, if it's in the back, you pull this forward 8 feet, then you pull the pipe out the back. You're standing in yesterday's fertilizer. It gets messy, it gets mucky, it's not pleasant. If it's on the front, you get to stay on the fresh stuff, which it matters. Your blue jean knees will thank you. Is that good? They were tired.
Yeah.
Bonus tip. If YouTube lets us load it. Bonus tip. Another reason we love this coop. The chickens are destined to have a bad day, right? Getting in there is hard. It's short. We're not made to be in there. We've developed this. This is our makeshift chicken pusher. Okay? So, on butchering day, this door comes off. The trough comes out of the way. The hole for the trough now is our hole for our handle right here. And what you can do is slowly, as you need the chickens, you push this back toward the back, pushes the chickens toward one end, where then you can pop the door off, harvest, grab as many chickens as you're needing to do, and then close it back up. Sometimes we'll take that off and just have like a bungee cord on the back to make it real easy. But having that hole lets you feed, and then you can herd. That way, no one has to do the army crawl up in here to try to get that last rooster that is just dying to kick you. That's no good, because he knows what's coming, and if we got stuff to do, we got to do it quickly and efficiently. And that's what this coop has let us do. This one's small enough, the wife can move it, my 8-year-old son can move it, I can of course move it. Small, compact. We also use these things for other things on the farm, which may be a different video. But it's primarily built for a chicken tractor. 15 to 20 chickens, one of these, and you're off to the races. So we're gonna stop the video because we got stuff to do. I gotta get 30 chicks in here. We'll separate them out later when they get bigger, but we got to finish getting this prepped and staying busy. So, and y'all stay busy. All right, talk to y'all later. Keeping busy, yeah, still busy. These are the chicks, guys. We just did a video on our chicken tractor, but figured we'd take a minute, show the cute little things going in, and yeah, so these are what we got. Cornish cross, basic homesteader. We tried to get some Freedom Rangers, but they were out. We have a local hatchery that was doing us like a BOGO sale. So we had to we went and got some. So these are the newest, latest, and greatest addition to the homestead as far as new arrivals. So, you know, one thing I wanted to mention, maybe on the video for the tractor, didn't mention it while I'm putting these guys in, is you'll see here on the front skids, right there, that 45-degree angle. Such a small detail, such a big difference. It's when it comes to dragging it through the yard, going through the grass and everything. If you haven't put that on yours, it'd be a very simple thing to do. And you'll find that, I think you'll find you'll like it. So, figured I'd throw that in while I'm loading these guys. But there, so they're all loaded up. They're buttoned in, or will be. So, this is gonna be their home. About 2 weeks from now, we're split them, because there is 30 in here, and that's a little too big to go full term. But for starting out, so they can cuddle together, and yeah, you run 1 heat lamp versus 2, it's a great little brooder box. And we don't really have a whole lot of predator issues around here. So we haven't had an issue with anything digging into these. If you do, then you might want to consider that. But these guys are starting their journey. We're gonna close them up. And this will not come off for 6 to 8 weeks, unless it has to. There you go. So we already filled the waterer, so we're giving them some food just to start with, and we're start on their feeding schedule this afternoon. You might say it's their little chicks and it's a tall trough. They'll find it. They'll jump in the trough. They'll find it.
You want to make sure when they're little like this to keep the trough all the way closed, because they are little, and if it's not closed all the way, if you don't have it pushed in that other end cap, they'll climb through the trough and hop out on you. These guys are about a week old now.
All right. Next project?
Yep.
All right.